And the boys are back. The boys are back, Dre. Coming off our best week since God knows when. It sure does feel good.
Yeah, truly God knows when. I mean, we need to go to some way back heaters. The betting manifesto, it's coming into play, Ryan. I never had any doubt. You were in a very dark place for about 3 days there. I never had any doubt that these kind of days and these kind of weeks would come around. Also, we got to give it out. A true assist to Henry Chisholm goes out because 2-1 on Thursday, 1-1. We had the voided bet on the Mac Friday bets on both sides. But hey, he still got us one win over 500 last week. So shout out to him as well.
3-2 for Hank. I actually don't even remember what I was. I think I was something along the lines of like 9-3 on the week. But overall, we absolutely dominated.
We did.
And it's fantastic. And there's no reason to talk about it in the past tense because it's only going to keep rolling.
Truly.
So first of all, I want to make a correction. On the early show, I said that there were reports that Nathan MacKinnon would play tonight, which there were. Those reports have since been recanted. Nathan MacKinnon will not play tonight, so it seems. Who knows what could happen at this point? But no need to hesitate on waiting on getting in on Mikko's shots. Go ahead and get that. Austin, our guy, says weekday Kings need to save me. Weekend was rough. We're here to help. Although for me, the weekend was amazing.
You really hounded the old All-Star game bets, huh?
I found, a nice little loophole in the All-Star game bets. First of all, like, nothing has ever been more clear to me than the fact that Team LeBron was going to win. Like I can't believe the spread was only 4.5. If you've ever watched an All-Star game before, what happens? You have dunks and threes.
Yeah.
Well, they were just stacked full of guys who get dunks and make threes. It was like, what, like, I don't know. It was just crazy. So
it's absurd.
I wanted more value, though. So I went in and I took every player that I could on Team LeBron. They're over on points combined with Team LeBron to win. There was only 3 of them. It was LeBron, Giannis, and Steph. I hit all 3 of those. LeBron, of course, didn't hit his over. Giannis and Steph both blew theirs away. And Team LeBron cruises to the easy victory. And it ended up being like a +4 unit win for me.
What was the juice on those?
+175 on each one of those.
That's nice. I would have done well had the Peter Yan disqualification not occurred. That really was
so brutal.
Yeah, that was kind of well, and then that close Avs loss kind of sucked too.
Yeah, that one actually put me a little bit down, and then I nailed. I don't even remember what the guy's name is. The Polish guy.
Bahovitz. Yeah.
Yes, I watched a promo video on him.
You kind of look like him.
Oh, thank you. That's a huge compliment. He is a beautiful beast of a man. I saw this promo on him, and I was like, dude, this guy literally has every single person in Poland is going to be watching, and they're all counting on him to do right by their country. Like, how could he possibly lose? And so I just went all in on him. Well, not all in, but I went hard in on him.
Yeah.
And he did right by Poland.
The upsets have been hot in the main cards. Let's keep that under our hats, or maybe sneak it in our socks for a little rainy day, you know.
All right, let's get to the big 3, which was 17-9 last week. Got to keep it rolling. We'll start with Andre's big 3.
Yeah, let's kick it off. Max Pacioretty has been an absolute monster as far as shots on goal, and to get over 3.5 at -167 is actually decent value for a guy who's averaging 6 per game in the month of March. That's 4 games. 8 of the last 10, this has gone over. And in the last 2 meetings against Minnesota, the only 2 meetings against Minnesota, he's averaging over 7 a game. So that's absurd. Mikko has been hot. Mikko has especially been hot in this recent stretch without Mac. So even though you lose some juice, -200, I'll still take it because this has gone over 5 in a row, 7 of the last 10. And then Brady Tkachuk, affectionately known as Brody on this show, second only to Pacioretty in the league. On goal, averaging well over 4.3. Getting him at -118 is really nice. He's hit 7 of the last 10 and 3 of the last 4 this month. So you'd almost think, oh, with the juice so low that he's lost a little value. No, that's just a really nice bet. So no NBA tonight. The college hoops, we might get wacky with it later on in the show, but these are your safe big 3 of the night. And I've got plenty of bonuses, but we'll get to that in just a second.
I didn't remember us having a double overlap today, but I guess we do have the double overlap.
Yeah.
Let's jump over to my big 3, which is very similar to Andre's big 3, and there's nothing wrong with that. Max Pacioretty, over 3.5, the most prolific shot on goaler in the NHL. Mikko Rantanen, old, trusty Mikko Rantanen, 2 goals the other night, and we're going to talk about one in here in a second. And finally, Nazem Kadri, over 2.5 shots, -136. This is the first time it's ever been available, to my knowledge, at least this season. The man gets pucks on net. I'm excited to watch and actually have those matter because, you get so caught up in your bets that you start not enjoying other guys' shots on goal. I'm excited to enjoy someone new tonight. And that's Kadri, who also, of course, will be on PP1, which is very important to these shot props. So let's talk about Mikko Rantanen, Andre, because something interesting happened on Saturday night. Something very interesting. Now, of course, there was the great shot on goal debate just last week, I think it was, in which Mikko Rantanen attempted to bank a puck off of the goalie's back and into the net. And it banked off his back and landed on his legs, and he saved it. That was considered a save. That was considered no shot on goal.
Yeah.
I absolutely had a cow over it. It didn't matter because Mikko ended up hitting it otherwise, but I lost my collective mind over this injustice. And then I'm talking to 2 very knowledgeable hockeymen who I trust greatly. And they tried to talk me off the ledge. They said, listen, if there's no goalie there, that shot goes flying across the zone and it doesn't matter. So the spirit of a shot on goal would it have gone in if the goalie wasn't there?
Right.
So because he banked it off of the goalie, they're saying if the goalie wasn't there, it would have just gone flying across the zone. And I said, okay, it's still BS, but I'll live with it as long as if it was a goal, they wouldn't have counted it as a shot either. And they said it wouldn't, just in the same way that if a puck bounces off a guy's face and goes in the net, it's not a shot on goal either.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, all right, fine. I surrender. You guys can have this one. It's stupid, but I'll allow it.
Wow. Okay.
But then.
Oh, no.
But then, Andre.
Oh, no, Ryan.
In Saturday night's contest, Mikko Rantanen attempts the exact same move, except this time he executes it to perfection. Backhand off the goalie's back into the back of the net, the triple back. And what is it? It's a shot on goal. So now everything that I was led to believe is a lie, and we're back to getting screwed on the first one.
Let's go. Good for you exposing clogs in the system right here. That we have always been about truth first and foremost on this.
So it count. So now the next time it doesn't count, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Right. And now Mikko, apparently our favorite shot on goal prop guy in the world, is keen on really getting us to live out this science experiment, which is very exciting.
I got to admit, Andre, way too much of my life now is spent complaining about what is and isn't a shot on goal. Because did you see how Mikko almost didn't hit that prop the other night?
No, I was doing family stuff over the weekend, so I missed the ads again.
Okay, so he throws a puck on net. It goes in. and they scored a goal for Gabe Landeskog. And they're showing the super duper hyper slow-mo, and it's like his stick is right here and the puck, and you just can't really tell if it hit it or not. But like based on the spin of the puck, I'm like, it didn't hit his stick. That's Mikko's goal. And I'm like losing my mind. Like he should have 3 and 2 goals. And meanwhile, they're not counting it. And then Allie, who was steadfast on this the whole time, she's like, they're going to switch it. They're going to switch it. They're going to switch it. Randomly in the middle of the third period, goal back to Mikko. All is well. And justice was served.
I mean, if you just watched the goal, you knew that it didn't touch anyone. There was no, especially when they gave it to Gabe, instead of like, it kind of looked like maybe Nichushkin touched it, but he didn't. I knew for a fact they were going to give it to Mikko, and it was all going to be okay, and you just needed to stay positive.
I just don't like that the fates of the universe are in the hands of the official scorer at a hockey game.
I know. It's we need a commission in place. We need someone like a video assistant review from above. There has to be an office in Toronto, and we need a direct line to them so that we can question and inquire about any important decisions like these Mikko shot on goal incongruencies that are quite troubling, I would say.
Yeah, I always love being in the locker room for the Broncos when there's a stat correction. And someone gets a sack, like they only had half a sack and they get a full sack. Like it's like the happiest moment of their life. Like, because so much, it's crazy. But like, again, these guys' future earnings can be determined by the official score in these places. So I remember one time, like Shelby Harris got a half sack with Von Miller, and it was like very clearly a full sack for Shelby, and he was like, "This is such BS." Like, Vaughn's getting the superstar treatment. I can't believe they gave him a half sack on that. And then, like, I think it was like Tuesday or something. I told him, I saw a tweet. I was like in there. I was like, dude, they just switched it to a full sack for you. And he's just like, he just went crazy. He's just like, yes, like, take that, Vaughn. Just like screaming at him. It's so funny though. Like that stuff actually really matters.
Yeah, it really is a strange amount of power in those scorekeepers' hands.
Yep, exactly. Okay, let's move on to. Let's just talk about this Avs game real quick, because there's something here. Well, let's go to the dilemma of the day. But before we do that, I know. I'm sorry, Ali.
I do that too.
Before we do that, a shout out to DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000 when you use the code DNVR at sign-up. And there's all sorts of amazing opportunities this week, including the Choose Your Underdog boost. They're going to give you insane odds on select potential underdog picks in the conference tournaments this week. Dre, we're talking $4 to win $256. That's plus 6,400 for new users. And you're going to have a real opportunity to pick the lower seed or the lower ranked team in some of these games. So again, you're going to have a lot of opportunity here to make a huge profit on these guys. Check it out if you're a new user over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Of course, you must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Bonus comprised of a first deposit bonus and a first bet match, each up to $500. Deposit bonus requires 25x play through. Restrictions to apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
Nice.
That's like a white whale, Dre.
Yeah, really. Okay. I think it's time to get some family members signed up.
Yeah, seriously. 4 for 256 is quite the deal. Okay.
Yeah.
The Avs and Coyotes. What do we know about these two teams? You were earlier looking at their two matchups this year, which weren't as telling. But do you have those in front of you right now?
Yeah, I know that the first one was 5-2, and the second one with Miska in goal was 3-2. You remember that? As basically
6-2, 3-2.
6-2, 3-2, right? And the 3-2, the one outlier, because that was a low-scoring affair. Avs are kind of coasting to an easy 3-2 win, and then in the blink of an eye, it got really close, and Miska had to kind of shut the door at the end to even bring that one home. But yeah, there you go. 6-2 and 3-2.
6-2 and 3-2. And that would be a nice little sample for us to point to. But we can go back even further, and that's where things really interest me. Because on the heels of that 6-2, 3-2 performance, you have 7-2, 7-2 to finish out the series in last year's playoffs. And
Right.
to me, that's enough. The last 4 games, we're talking 14-4, we're talking 20-6, we're talking 23-8 over their last 4 games, if I'm doing that correctly. It's a pretty wide margin there between these two teams. Arizona hasn't been able to get on the board for more than 2, even when Misko was in net. And I think we can mine this. I think we can mine this type of game. And I think we should be using this sample size. The Avs are a much, much better hockey team than Arizona. And for whatever reason, they really have their number when they both get on the ice together.
Well, and the over plus 107, the puck line plus 138. So pretty nice value here too. I think part of that nice value, of course, is the fact that Nathan MacKinnon's missing. And how much does that change the equation, obviously?
And it has to change the equation a little bit. And the Avs are also completely just getting killed by injuries right now. They are going to get Matt Calvert back today, but that's minor compared to what they're missing. They're missing McKinnon, they're missing Byram, they're missing Makar, and their defense is just struggling. I mean, they're throwing out new guys that you've never heard of every other night. Yes, Allie?
I do think bringing Matt Calvert back is going to have an impact on the team. Obviously, not as big, like you said, as Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar, but the team has really missed his presence on the ice, and he just brings this leadership that the team really misses when he's out.
Oh, and he's such a grinder, and he just
exactly
he's the type of guy that you want on the ice as much as you possibly can, for sure, in terms of game by game basis.
Absolutely.
So the injuries give me pause to get crazy here, because if they were all together, I would be saying like maybe you sprinkle Avs minus 4.5 or 3.5, I should say. There's all sorts of different ways you could get crazy. I don't want to get crazy, but I do endorse the 60-minute line. I do endorse the Avs minus 1.5, honestly. And I do endorse the Avs team total, which I just had, but I lost. Here we go. Team totals. Well, you can kind of choose your own adventure here. So let me see who I like, where I like it. I mean, over 3.5 is plus 125. That's really nice value.
That's very nice.
If you want to get crazy, you could go over 4 at plus 240. But I really like over 3.5 at plus 125.
I like the general over because, as you just said, the big concern with the Avs is all the injuries, especially defensively, which I think could lead to more scoring on both sides and kind of force it to be a bit more of a shootout. I also think that right now, on top of Mikko, who obviously we're both in on, as long as Mac's out, the Landy sprinkles on goals has been nice, and hitting up the Kadri props has been nice too. That's only hitting about a 50% clip, the Kadri prop, over the course of the year. But he's really kind of got going, and those first team power play minutes that Ryan was talking about earlier will be huge for him as well. So that's where I go, is sprinkling those props on Kadri and Landy and really hammering that over in the game.
Allie, do you have a first goal scorer that you'd like to sprinkle?
I think Kadri's due.
It's a good one.
So I'm thinking Kadri. But Blaze Hunter's in the comments. Says if Darcy gets hot, it could be a close one.
Yes. That's always in the works.
Yeah, I mean that's the case in any game.
Yeah.
And Blaze also agrees with Kadri.
Right. Dre, I have concocted a white whale hockey parlay. Now, again, this is only very, very lightly endorsed because I'm putting a free bet on it. But I have for you $10, the $10 free bet to win $614. It's all hockey games being played tonight.
Okay.
All right, and it's all 60-minute lines. Golden Knights 60-minute line plus 140.
Yeah.
Edmonton Oilers 60-minute line minus 152. Colorado Avalanche 60-minute line minus 120. Here's where I get a little saucy with it. San Jose Sharks 60-minute line over the Blues plus 210. And then another upset here. Ducks over the Kings plus 175. Comes out to plus 61.49.
Wow. Wow, that's okay. I like it. You really are feeling San Jose today.
So, something has spoken to me that tells me it's a San Jose night.
Which is fun. I also am kind of intrigued by watching this Wild game because they've been a fun team, and then I'm invested in Pacioretty and all that stuff.
Ooh, that reminds me. Is St. Joe's in action tonight? Do the San Jose St. Joe's parlay? I've been waiting for this opportunity.
Oh, you need to check that out while I give out my additional shot props for the night. So I'd like to start with Tyler Toffoli of the Montreal Canadiens at over 2.5 shots. You get that at minus 162. That's gone over 10 of the last 15 since February. He's been really hot on that end. Then Ricard Raquel he's playing for the Ducks over 2.5, minus 162 on that one. 5 in a row, the overs hit 7 of the last 8. He's really heating up lately. And then you pair that with my other 3 big 3, which can put you at a plus 1,000. Plus 1,000. Even if you would like, though, you could substitute Mikko with Kadri to hunt value. Fiala would be someone who I'd accept, though you'd have to sub him out for Max Pacioretty. And if you wanted to take our guy Brody Tkachuk out, you could put Nugent Hopkins under. I never give out an under shots, but you get that plus 125. He's only gone over 2.5 shots, 6 of the last 15. His stats are inflated at this point. So yes, I am authorizing an under on Nugent Hopkins, 2.5 shots.
All right. Wow. Our first ever shots under, I believe.
Truly a day to be remembered, Ryan.
I cannot imagine watching a hockey game in which I have a shots under. That would be a tough watch.
No, that'd be a tough one for sure, yes.
I'm going to throw in, to finish us off here,
yes,
my Avs long shot goal scorer of the night.
Okay.
Jacob McDonald plus 1150.
Okay. That was a serious one. I was expecting just another loco pick.
Nope. Jacob McDonald, he really only knows one thing, and that's getting pucks on net. And so once in a while, I mean, when you get that sort of volume, one of these days it's going to sneak under a pad.
One of these days, hopefully today is that day. I will say tomorrow, kind of around where leg 1 is kicking off, Champions League soccer will be played. So if you can watch that midday, play a little hooky or have it on a second screen, I highly recommend. I will take Juventus to go through in the minus 170s over Porto, though they're down 2-1. And then Dortmund, I think the money line's kind of intriguing for them. They don't need to win. Sevilla will kind of be aggressive. So I think Dortmund can kind of pull off that breakaway goal as Sevilla gets too far forward and gets desperate and get you the easy win at nice value there.
Love it. All right. I think that wraps it up. A lot of bets covered in a short time there. If you're looking for the quick version of that and you want to hear our big threes, you can, of course, go listen to the first leg of the parlay. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, we get through them bang, bang, bang as fast as you can imagine. That's the fastest and most efficient way to get our picks in your ears. Unless you like screw around on this show, which is always kind of fun too. So
Can't
for
believe-
today, that's going to wrap it up for us on DNVR Bets Daily. Good luck, and may the odds be ever in your favor.